Hello, my name is Nikhil. I'm from Northern Virginia in the United States. I'm also currently a rising second year student at Princeton University studying public and international affairs. And I had the incredible opportunity this summer with Step Beyond Borders to work for Smile NGO as a social development and research intern. So a little bit about Smile NGO. So Smile NGO is one of the most prominent NGOs in Jaipur, specifically focusing on uplifting women and girls from extremely low-income backgrounds or rural communities. What this manifests into is two specific categories that I like to talk about. One is education focus, so that includes things like adolescent and childhood education initiatives, which help prepare these girls to go into, to advance their studies, potentially even into college. And then the second aspect of it is the use of mental health centers, which helps provide care and treatment for women and girls who are victims of domestic abuse and violence, so that they can help be rehabilitated and reintegrate back into society as strong, contributing community members. My work was mostly focused on the education side of things. So what I did was, given that the NGO is extremely women-focused and more girl-centric, recently the NGO has started integrating boys into their programs. Now, given that that's happened, what the NGO has realized that there is a desperate need for life skills education for boys. Now, there is already life skills education being present for girls currently. So what I was tasked to do is to conduct a series of different types of interviews and field research to help essentially craft and curate a brand new curriculum for the NGO for adolescent and younger boys, specifically from low-income communities. So for the past 8 weeks, I've essentially had the opportunity to talk with a variety of different teachers, students, different types of experts, and conduct a lot of different field research. And then the latter portion of it was actually creating and crafting this curriculum.
Could you share with us about your accommodation, stay, how overall India was as an intern being here for 2 months?
Yeah, of course. So the accommodation that we lived in was incredible. We lived in a 3-bedroom apartment with 2 of my roommates, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It was extremely clean. There was a person who came, or housekeeper, who came and helped maintain everything for us, which was incredibly helpful, and I'm extremely thankful to her for doing that. All the facilities are incredible. We had an AC. It's extremely well kept, modern, clean. I had absolutely no issues with the accommodation, and even if there were certain small problems which arose, we were very easily able to get in contact with our coordinators and get those issues sorted out as soon as possible. Now, in terms of living in India, obviously when you come here for the first time, it is a bit of an adjustment. There is a huge cultural difference, especially with me, who I didn't know the language that well. However, I think over time, you really learn to settle in, and I think it's truly been an incredible experience.
Mention one challenge and how did you overcome it?
That's a great question. This is a very niche challenge, which I think I faced and maybe future interns might not face, but given that I'm Indian and I'm actually South Indian, coming to the North for the first time, interacting with people, they have this sort of expectation of you in their minds of what you're supposed to be. So, for example, what that would look like is maybe they expected me to speak Hindi, or they're expecting me to be aware of what's going on, or of, the different customs and traditions that may be more specific to North India. However, I'm, one, not Indian, I'm an American citizen, and 2, my Indian heritage is from South India, and there's a significant cultural difference. So my family speaks Tamil, they don't speak Hindi. So trying to explain to people in very broken Hindi that, I'm sorry, I don't speak Hindi, I'm from the United States, it really subverts their expectations of what they see in me. And for a lot of time, actually, they end up getting a bit disappointed. They're like, oh, you're not matching up with what I imagined in my head. So I think learning to really navigate that and get over that took a bit of time for me, but I eventually got used to it. And I've picked up just enough Hindi where I can explain to people that, no, actually my culture is different than yours, but I'm still Indian and I'm truly enjoying my experience here.
Could you mention what cultural activities did you have, and what trips you had during your stay?
Yeah, of course. So I'll start with the trips first because that's what's in the top of my mind. We had incredible opportunities to go to a variety of different places near Jaipur. So first we did I think it was a 2-day trip to Agra, which was a dream come true for mine. Ever since I was a kid, visiting Agra was on my bucket list. So extremely thankful to Princeton for sponsoring that and Step Beyond Borders for organizing that, where we got to go see the Agra Fort, the Taj Mahal, etc. There was a specific moment which I think was extremely powerful for me, was where we got to meet victims of acid attacks in India, and they started creating this business and this sort of cafe which helps uplift these women, and having a chance to speak with them and hear their stories was truly, truly inspiring. The other trips that we took was as a group of Princeton interns, we also went to Udaipur for a weekend, which was also extremely beautiful and tremendously fun. And most recently, this past weekend, we visited Delhi to attend a Princeton alumni event and also do some general sightseeing.
Perfect. What tips will you give to other interns considering Jaipur as their placement?
That's a good question. I would say have an open mind when you come to a new place, especially depending on where you come from. Really put an effort to try and learn the language, even if I know it's going to be really, really hard, especially because Hindi is an extremely difficult language to pick up. However, people truly appreciate it when you're trying. Like, even if it's very basic Hindi, small words, people here truly appreciate that you're even trying to take the small effort to understand their culture and speak their language. I think that one small thing can really go a long way, especially in terms of how someone treats you. So that would be my advice. And just generally have an open mind when you go into things. This is a very new experience for a lot of different people living in a country like this. And I would highly recommend going into situations and visiting new places with a very open mind. There are going to be so many cultural differences that you might not be used to, but this is the way of living here, and I think it's truly tremendous.
Thank you, Nikhil, for being with us. Thank you.
Of course.